Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays, this is great. We're up to date, but your brain is the only thing you have. When you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, you're going through death, real life, you can't Google that, man. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but it's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain. And your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you into these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. What existed for me was, okay, man, how am I going to make this work? And all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything gets accomplished, that's all I heard back in those days. You got to work hard. You got to work hard. I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what this paragraph is. To pass this test to get the military, read again. I'm still not getting it. Read it again. But I'm still not getting it. Write it out. And now I started learning. Okay, well, I got to write out everything I do and then write it out again and write it out again. And guess what happened? I got it. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. I can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. I realized if I keep going back and going back and going back until this just becomes, your mind will say, okay, we're going to figure it out, because he is not going to stop. It's like, I'm going to try one more time. No, it's just like alarm clock goes off. Boop, we're going back. I can't read right. We're going back. I gave myself no way out. There was nothing outside these walls of hell. Nothing. I loved God, but for a short period of time, I became the devil, because that was hell. I became the boss, the owner, the CEO of Navy SEAL training. That's how you get through things. You immerse yourself wherever it is, you become that. And give yourself no way out. When I was 279 pounds and I was fat as hell trying to be a Navy SEAL, the scariest thing in the world to me, even to this day, was that could have been the rest of my life. I thought then I was trying hard. That's the scariest thing in the world. I thought then, 279 pounds, working for Ecolab, spraying for cockroaches, making $1,000 a month, I thought that was me at my 100% potential. Come to find out a few years later, I wasn't even near that. 106 pounds less, graduating Navy SEAL training, we doing all these other things. Looking back on that was me trying hard. That's why people understand what is in us. We have no idea until we start trying hard. And I mean really trying hard, where you're obsessed with, hey, this is my new norm. My new norm is that, wow, this isn't always fun. It's not meant to be fun. And that's when you know you're trying hard. People hear my story and think this guy's sadistic. I realized how the brain works. I figured out how the brain works. I'm a scared kid, and that's what gives me so much power. I had no foundation, and I built this off of just researching the mind. The feeling you get is basically invincibility. You realize that you can't do it all the time, but when you need to do it, I know I can go to a place that I can live in. And when you know that, you can run on broken legs, and you can do certain things that a lot of people can't do, but they're not willing to do. This power, the sympathetic nervous system of fight or flight, and you're fighting it, it gives you this charge of energy over when you're sitting there at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and you're duct taping your feet up because they're broken, and you're doing it by yourself, and you're going to arguably one of the hardest training in the world, and these guys, most of them are healthy, and you're going through it broken, and you're already at a disadvantage, but you're still there. You can feed into that and tap into that for a lot of power. But if you look at it while I'm broken, man, like I'm not going to make it. If you look at it as, man, I'm broken and I'm still here and I'm fighting and I'm going to find a way to get through this because I have no other place to go, it gives you a lot of power. When things start to suck really, really bad, my brain and a lot of people's brain, dude, they don't go to your dad beating you up. Your brain says, win it right here. This is miserable. So the anger goes away a lot of times when you're suffering because your brain says, we got to run. We got to go. So that anger is not popping up saying, I'm going to show them, I'm going to show those people. No, there has to be a much deeper. If I say deeper, it has to be down to mineral soil. It has to be down to that nice mineral soil where nothing can burn. You can't burn dirt. So it has to be down that low. That literally is sub-menu. That's at the core of your soul. But you don't find it unless you spend a lot of time with what you want to be in life. I can't give that to you, right? You can't give it to somebody. When you find your true passion in life, and my passion for me, when I want to be, now I give my Navy SEALs, I want to serve my country. I want to be someone that I'm proud of. I want to look at myself in America, and I was so disappointed. That accountability, man, I talked about, I was so disappointed in what I saw every day. I want everybody to love David Goggins, and a lot of people did. I didn't love myself. But I knew a lot of us want to find peace first. Someone say, man, you always talk about this suffering and pain. I'm at peace right now because I'm going to do that. You don't find peace first. If you do, Merry Christmas, more power to you.
More power to you. I found peace on the opposite end of finding myself. And no one really finds himself without going through trials, tribulations, suffering, and accountability. And accountability is suffering. Being accountable every day for doing right for yourself, for the people next to you, it's miserable. It's hard.
I was screaming, but I was quiet. The truth of the matter is I got to a place, even though I was in prison, I wasn't going to wait till tomorrow or next semester or next year or whenever I got released to begin my change. Right now, in the middle of my external uncomfortability, I was going to make a stand. And I realized hard work works. Make good choices, good things happen. There's never a wrong time to do what's right. Hard work and good choices will always create opportunities for your dreams, your plans, the things you've thrown against the wall to begin to be activated. I was in prison. My external situation seemed pretty difficult. It was uncomfortable, but in the moment, I was an act of talking and communicating and making choices, and hard work and good choices will create opportunities in the middle of your chaos, in the middle of your storm. For me, I didn't serve 15 years because I was still being incarcerated until 2024. I've actually been released and been walking and living life and doing this since 2013. See, I got released 11 and a half years early. What happened is I found the courage in the middle of an uncomfortable situation in a storm that seemed hopeless, to be honest, to not be afraid to face the thing that I was the most afraid of, which was me. Because I promise you, transparency and accountability, using the people around you, but then also realizing that we've got skin in the game, which is called action, which is called choices, and doing our best to the next right thing and treat people the way that we want to be treated. Doors and opportunities will always open in the middle of your storm. And I care what you have to say, and I care what your experiences have been, and I care about your journey. Don't lose the ability to know that you are a critical thinker. You have the ability to process, to think, to rationalize, to hear data, and to make conclusions. It's inside of you. Don't settle for anything less than real and authentic. You want to go somewhere you've never gone? You got to do something you've never done. You got to say something you never said. You got to go to a place in you that you've never even been. You're not sentenced to this life this way. You chose it. I feel like on this side of covert, like I've tried to even hit a different gear, because one thing that I've realized over the last several years of my life, things that I take for granted can be taken from me. And so now any moment that I get a chance just to kind of lecture or to communicate or to challenge somebody to maybe do what I long for people to do, for me to do, not even you, but for me to even be, and that's to live a life where I wake up and I look in the mirror and I am determined to confront myself. I'm determined to have conflict resolution inside of myself. When I'm open and I'm honest with my behaviors and how I'm operating and what I'm doing with my time and my energy and my focus. See, let me share something with you. The easiest thing I've ever done was to earn $1 million. The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe it could happen to me. We all want to do something. We all want to be somebody. We all want to go somewhere. If these things are going to happen, we've got to stop habitually gravitating to excuse. You got a destiny to fulfill. You got a purpose to walk into. You got a test to pass. You got dots to connect, rooms to walk in, stages to stand on, and tables to sit down at, that you got to put a new mind in you. You got to get out of your mind. You got to begin to restructure your thinking. I'm ready to do this for my family. I'm ready to do this for my mother. I'm ready to win for my father. I'm ready to make history and ready to do something that nobody ever thought I could do. And we mistake the fact that we're supposed to be comfortable 24/7. Well, let me tell you something. Comfortable is equivalent to complacent. It's not always about the essence. I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I want to take the calculated risk to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, with thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I would never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand direct traveling. I'm not afraid to face the world boldly and say this I have done. Who doubts you? I'm worried when you doubt you. Because when you doubt you, you can't get nothing done. When you doubt you, all of a sudden things just seem to be harder. But out of everybody who doubts you, you can't doubt you. You got to believe in you. You got to believe in your ability. You got to believe that you can win. We get one opportunity to come this way. We get one shot. We got one life to live. Life is too short to make excuses. So I just came to talk to the game changers and to the change agents who are willing to confront any part of you that's not speaking to your madly, wildly amazing future. When somebody is in love with who they've been called to become, what they've been called to fulfill, what they've been destined to do, there is no day off. I'm telling you, don't wait another moment, don't wait another day, don't wait another minute. It's lonely, it's challenging, it requires discipline, it requires perseverance. It's a mindset. It's not over until I win. People that make excuses are not connected to their destination. They don't have an end game, they don't have a goal. You have allowed yourself to become a weakling, cover under the blanket of excuse. But I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that has a dream. I am ready. Come on, I am ready. Come on, let me hear you. I am ready. One more time. I am ready. Consider this your wake-up call. What most people fail to realize is that pain is inevitable and it is unavoidable. There is no path in life without pain. Whatever it is that you're going after, whoever it is that you've been destined to become, you cannot have it, you will not become it without pain. You will face challenges and difficulties and giants, regardless if you are single, if you are married, if you are a stay-at-home mom, a stay-at-home father, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're working a 9 to 5, if you're an educator, if you are an athlete, if you're a musician, a singer, a producer. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are doing, pain is inevitable. If I'm gonna hurt like this, if I'm gonna bleed like this, if I'm gonna cry like this, let me cry because I'm in the best shape of my life. Let me cry because I'm conditioned to weather the uphill war. Let me cry because I'm building my relationship, I'm building my business, I'm building my legacy. Let me cry because it hurt, but there is a reward on the other end of my pain. Let me cry tears because I passed the test, because I gave it everything I had. Choose your heart. Everything in life comes with hardship. Make a decision. At some juncture, you will encounter pain. And the moment that you get acquainted with pain, you get acquainted with hardship. You realize that no matter what you do, no matter how much you study, no matter how much you plan, you will not be able to avoid a measure of pain. I don't care what it is, losing weight. I don't care what it is, a new eating paradigm, a new relationship paradigm, new thoughts, new behaviors. It doesn't matter what you're after, what you're looking to become. If you don't go to the gym, it's going to hurt you. If you go to the gym, it's going to hurt you. Your muscles are going to tear. But on the other side of that pain, there is a reward. There isn't any regrets. You won't regret taking care of your body. On the other side of making those healthy decisions, there is a reward. Discipline. It's the reward of longevity. It's the reward of influence. It's the reward of power. Do you want results? Do you want a reward, or do you want regrets? The decision is yours. We are just so existentially in crisis all the time. And I just wonder if this life wasn't meant to be full of love and joy and happiness. I just think we're getting it a little bit wrong. So life is harm. None of us get out of here unscathed. It is harm. I'm not a Pollyanna minimalist on the things that cause us suffering. If you don't fix yourself with limited identities, if you do not compare yourself with anything, if you explore, and that seed, if you want this tree to grow to its less thing, that's why I said not the fruit, the root. If you count the fruits, maybe that tree is bearing more fruit than this one. That's not the point. You nurture the root, the fullest possible nurture. If you give to the root, what it has to become, it'll become. A blade of grass cannot become a tree, but is it not wonderful? So I think success is a funny thing, which is we all seem to pursue it, but we don't know how to measure it or actually how to define it. So how do you pursue something that you can't measure? I think we must all stop measuring promotions, salaries, and these things, but rather measure the momentum of your career. Does my career have momentum? Can I see it moving in the right direction? Can I see it gathering moss? Can I see that it's becoming easier for me to keep the momentum? It's becoming easier for me to grow the size of this thing. It's requiring less effort. That's the thing we need to measure. That's the thing that we need to be cognizant of, which is the momentum of our careers, not just the markers that we think define our success. We snap, we react at the drop of a hat just because we're out of balance. People who have a balanced life know how to handle pressure. People whose lives are not balanced sink under pressure. I know from living that if you quit whatever you're trying to accomplish, if you quit, whatever you were trying to accomplish can never happen. There's not even a remote possibility. If you quit, there is no chance of it popping back up again, coming back later. Quitting is guaranteed failure. Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. You have to be able to see what doesn't exist in order to be able to pull off or achieve what in most people's minds seems to be impossible. Only those that can see the invisible, being able to see what's not there. What is your vision? What is your idea? What was that God-sent dream? And so whatever the volcano is, you have the capacity to take that volcano on, the capacity to jump in it and find your true identity. Here's another thing that keep a lot of people from taking on the volcanoes and jumping into the challenges that they're confronted with. The fear of making mistakes or not feeling good enough. Guess what? You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. Guy said this, and it's true, is that the person who's never made a mistake hasn't done anything. Success and failure are generally slow processes, either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch. You have to watch every single second, because those seconds, they turn into minutes, and minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years. Maybe we are going through something. It doesn't change who I am. What I'm going through does not change who I am. And you're going to make some mistakes. If you want to do something out here, you're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to be criticized when you come out into the arena called life. You're going to feel awkward and stupid and dumb sometimes. It goes with the territory. Have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas. Never stop. Never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas that God has sent you. That second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second. And so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground or you were losing ground in that second. Like, I believe in life, you got two separate people. You got champions, right? And they go through things in life that are self-inflicted. They bring it upon themselves. They get through it. They say, man, I got through it. And then you got warriors, right? They walk outside. The wind hits them, knocks them down. They pick up their stuff. They adjust and they get moving and they deal with the adversity that they didn't expect. They set their perspective right and they figure out a way to embrace it and add value to every environment that they go into and every person's life that they come in contact with. Now, when you're trying, you're going to fail. But quitting, just stopping, that was the number one thing I understood. And then number two, you have to make sure that your dreams, your aspirations and goals are so big that not accomplishing them is not an option. God didn't bring you in this world to be average. God didn't bring you in this world to wake up and die one day and just be another person that lived and died and didn't do anything significant in this world. Let me say something. It's very important that you listen to this. Most of you, you're so consumed with everything that's going on in the world. This is the reason you haven't figured out your own life yet. You can never shine trying to sit on someone else's sun. You can never figure out who you are if you're consumed in everything that everybody else is and what they're doing and the moves that they're making. When you are struggling with what to do, who you are, what's your next move, you are in an identity crisis. You are struggling with just who you are. See, you have not discovered who you are in order to move you forward every single day. So you want to get better. You want to self-improve. Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your alarm clock and find your discipline and find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will. And then you will find your freedom. So a lot of people, if you've never made any major blunders, made some major mistakes, taken some serious risks, you haven't started living yet. You don't call that living, not rocking the boat, going through life quietly, tiptoeing safely.